Yes, how do you follow those speeches? I mean, I'm also the son of a preacher man, so they told me 5 to 7 minutes. So I went to my computer and I wrote everything down. That way I don't keep you guys here past midnight. So I just wanted to say, esteemed guests, faculty and apprenticeship completion class of 2022, this is such an honor for me. My name is Ralf Escobedo, Rafael Escobedo, if we want to be formal. I'm also the third in line there. I've been asked to speak just a little bit about my story as a apprentice and a business owner. And the beauty of what we have here is that each one of us has a unique story, and there is no one size fits all to this life. And I'm so honored to bring my story, and hopefully you find a little bit of encouragement through it. I'm going to invite you to take a little trip with me. I know this might be a little past some of your birth dates, but back to the mid-'80s, back when gas was less than $1, there was a Mexican-American immigrant whom at the age of 17 came to the United States, this land of promise and opportunity, in hopes of pursuing a better future. He found himself at a crossroads and had to make a decision that each and every one of us in this room have probably made or had to make, and a decision that I myself made in the summer of 2019. And that was to make a conscious effort to better ourselves and to be in competition, not with those around us, but to be in competition with the version of ourselves from yesterday. This man was my father, and he took full advantage of what Gateway Technical College had to offer. He started making strides to better himself, and not only his future, but his children's future. And so today I stand before you not professing to have everything figured out, but someone who refused to settle for anything less than my own personal best. I stand up here as someone who's been affected personally and professionally by the institution of Gateway, and it's reached throughout generations of families in our areas. So in 2017, myself, my wife, pregnant with our third child, 2 young sons, decided to pack up everything we had and drive cross country to leave the only life we had known and come back to my hometown of Kenosha, Wisconsin. And did we have jobs lined up? Nope. Did we know what was in store for us when we got here? Not at all. And were we aware that there was a global pandemic on the rise? Absolutely not. But with blind faith and a little bit of optimism for a new season in our lives, we arrived that August. And I quickly realized that I had left a secure job in Texas, a career doing what I loved, and arrived in Kenosha without any leads on work. But you know what they say, that necessity is the mother of all invention. And so with what little I had in a retirement account, who needs a retirement account anyway, right? What little I had in that account, Little Lion Cuts was born. I'm a firm believer that with great calculated risk, there comes an even greater reward. Little Lion Cuts is a Kenosha-based business that offers quality haircuts and styles for our youngest of friends, specializing in first haircuts as well as specializing in kids with accommodations and special needs, all the way up to grandmas and grandpa cuts. And Little Lion Cuts, or LLC as we call it, was birthed out of an ever-growing need to see more and more family-oriented businesses in this area. And we truly believe that families are the bedrock of our society. So everything worked together so quickly and came together so perfectly in getting this business off the ground. But you know what else came quickly? The trials and the bumps along the way. You see, I did things a little bit backwards. I opened a business without any real knowledge or real world knowledge of how to run it. And for someone who owned and created a hair salon, I had never cut hair, other than my son's hair sitting on the bathroom floor while he cried wearing a plastic bag as a cape, which he's probably going to be scarred for life. I, as my father before me, and as many of you in this place, found myself in need of help. And knowing when you need help and asking for it has been one of the greatest instruments that I have in my tool belt to this day. So I found myself cold calling, as Brian said. I was one of those employers calling Gateway. I found myself cold calling Gateway to see if they had any potential leads on stylists for our newly found business. And that's when I met Alberta Heinen as well as Nikki. And Albie being one of Gateway's amazing apprentice instructors. I had the pleasure of knowing her for a little bit now. And if you know Albie, you know that one word that sums her up is passionate. She passionately lives a life of servant leadership that I think all of us can aspire to live up to at least someday. She agreed to meet with me, and she saw a potential in me that I had not seen in myself. And instead of me leaving that day with some leads, she informed me that I would be my own next stylist. She basically made that decision for me. She said that I would be an apprentice, that I would be learning and watching and growing. And up until then, I didn't even know that this was an option for me. But the beauty of Gateway is that they take someone who is willing to grow, and they cultivate them, and they mold them, and they shape them into someone ready to take on whatever comes their way. So Albie always says this to her students. Any of Albie's students in here? So I'm sure you've heard her say this. If you have my number, you have it for life. This speaks to the quality and the professional integrity and character that I've seen throughout my time at Gateway. I'm a firm believer in character, because your talent and your ability will get you to the mountaintop and you will be the best, but your character will keep you there. I can safely say that without Gateway and without their amazing staff and educators, my story would have a very different ending. In the last 5 years since Little Lion Cut's conception and success along the way, I've heard many people say to me, man, you're so lucky to do what you love, or you're so lucky to be in business for yourself and be your own boss. But I honestly can say that's not the case. Yes, I am truly blessed to be in a position that I'm in, but I also believe that you make your own luck. You see, luck is where opportunity and preparation meet. And I'm going to say that one more time so you don't forget it. Luck is where opportunity and preparation meet. So class of 2022, you are well on your way into your preparation. So now you can go out and you can seize your opportunity. Thank you.